Hi, everybody, and welcome to Gen Friends. I am Cheri Hudson-Passy from Carolina Girl Genealogy, and we've got a great panel tonight. We have Cheri O'Connell from the In-Depth Genealogist. Hi, Terry.
Hey Sherry, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad you're here tonight.
Mhm.
And we have Mary Kircher-Roddy from MKR Genealogy. Hi, Mary. Barry's having trouble, so she may be a little frozen. So we will move on to Dustin Austin, who is a genealogist from Ohio and a big Relative Race fan. So he's decided to join us tonight as we talk about day 4. Oh my gosh, day 4. Mary, are you with us? I don't think she is. So what do you guys think about day 4? First of all, it starts and we get this bombshell announcement. Someone's missing. Blue team, they're gone for no reason except for due to, who knows? They're gone.
Unforeseen circumstances.
Unforeseen circumstances. They're gone. And I'm kind of sad because I would like to have followed through with their story to see what happened. But they did say that they gave all the information to the blue team. And they also said that they found out that Josh's father had passed away a couple of years ago. So that's sad. That's really sad that that happened. But they didn't tell the teams, and they started day 4 without knowing that they were only racing against 2 other teams. So Team Black had a rough start. Anybody want to?
Oh, I felt so bad. Poor Joe was it Crohn's disease?
Uh-huh.
And they said he was up the whole night before, like throwing up. The morning was really rough. The poor guy, you see him in the car reading the Pepto-Bismol. I felt so bad. But what a trooper he was to get through it.
Exactly. And there was one scene where they were outside and he couldn't get into the bathroom because all the bathrooms were full. So he was outside having to retch outside.
I mean, you heard him retching. It was
because, I felt so sorry for him. But, you're right. He just... and Jerica kept saying, "Hey, we can take the day. We can bag the day. Take the strike.
Right.
We can. Do you need to go to the hospital? Because that's some serious stuff. You don't play around with that." So, and he was trying to sit where his stomach wasn't burning, and so I felt really bad.
And the fact that all this happened, it really could happen in a better time. As far as not getting a strike.
Yes, since they didn't know. Yeah. But see, the stress was still on them since they had no idea. They had no idea that they weren't going to get a strike,
I have to say, I was so, I loved their family. So I'm going to skip over.
That's okay. That's all right.
But they went to the family and they told him that he had a rough night. He had a rough day. Oh, well, we'll make you broth and bring you crackers. I mean, like they had just met and there he is sitting down with this big bowl of broth. And they were like, we feel at home already. It's like my mom's taking care of me.
Yeah, they've had some really good cousins.
Absolutely.
Just really, really nice people that they've just bonded well with. They've really had some good people. So as they're racing and Joe's sick and Jerica's trying to get him to stop and she's driving and, should we stop and should we get you to the hospital? And then they end up having trouble taking their selfie. Like you would think.
An ongoing challenge.
Yeah, it's an ongoing challenge. And I've said, go ahead.
They didn't get lost.
Oh, that's right.
Every episode, he's like, I can't get out of here. We're lost.
Well, he wasn't driving. Jerica needs to let him drive more often.
Oh, we love you dearly. Jerica did a great job driving.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. But that was so funny. And I've often said, if you're going to be on Relative Race, learn how to take a selfie on a flip phone. Practice.
Like we could take a selfie with our phones today. The smartphones are so much easier. Yes. But those little cameras where you're turning and twisting and contorting.
I know. And Green Team had trouble because they did the wrong sign and it took them 3 or 4 times. Everybody was having trouble. So, but they're so funny as they're driving along. I loved Red Team this week as they're going, Dread, they're red. Dread,
they
red.
Had their relative joining in on that.
Exactly. And they're doing it reggae. She's like, that is not reggae.
I love when Dad did metal. I was like, oh.
That was so funny. Michael's going, "Rah!" and she's saying, be quiet, be quiet. That was really funny. I loved that. And so that's going on in my head while they're racing now. Dread the red, dread the red. So,
She's accomplished what she wanted. Everybody's going to have red team on their mind.
exactly. But later they were saying, no, we've got to dread the green, but we'll get to that later. Forget about dreading the red. We got to dread the green. Green team had some issues.
Wait, before we jump to green.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about, I wonder if Austin will meet someone that's not her dad's family.
Yes.
And she did.
I loved that.
Haha, Dad.
Yeah, haha. This is
I didn't expect that.
cousin
That was
on her
awesome.
mom's
I
side.
thought about you because last week, I mean, that was one thing. I wonder if.
Yeah,
So,
that was cool.
it was
That
cool.
was really cool. That was really cool. Well, you know what? I'm wondering if it was fun for him too, not to have. It kind of gave him that break, an emotional break, because he'd already had, how many days of.
Right. Intense storylines, Yeah. He probably needed that emotional break.
Go ahead, Austin. What were you going to say?
And I think it brought a good point to the story that for those people that maybe don't have much experience on the DNA side of it, they get to see that just because it's father and daughter, there's still DNA in her that's not his. So it helps reaffirm that, hey, there's still more family that dad's not related to, a part of this. So it helped kind of reaffirm that, which I thought was a good point. And it was fun.
That is a great point. That's a great point. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, as far as Green Team and their meeting relatives, her story just floors me every time. Once again, Precious, and I'm wondering if Paris is like, hey, am I going to meet anybody else? Because he hasn't met any relatives. But I think the point of this was her journey anyway, and so I think he's there to support her. But go ahead.
Her relative, though, it was a really powerful story about how she already had these beds. She had like everything lined up. It was all until this last little detail of the fire escape in the apartment, and that's why she couldn't get her. And it was just really sad.
Yeah, it was sad. And it's on her dad's side, and so they could tell her things about her dad. And so our theory of the picture frame,
he's alive.
Come into play. That she'll get that picture of him in the picture frame. But yeah, sad, but yet she's learning what she wanted to know. She's all those holes are being filled, and she's getting a sense of peace. And they even said that once a year they had we're going to look for her again, and so she knows that she wasn't forgotten, and that they were trying to find her.
Right, because just imagine like that, I feel so alone, feeling nobody loves me because nobody knows me, and she had all that, she just didn't know it was there.
Exactly, because she probably, it sounds like to me that she did not have a basis of understanding of why she was put into foster care to begin with and why she was adopted. I mean, I think those foundations help, but it sounds like to me that she didn't know anything. She knew nothing. But we kind of skipped over, I think, one of the most fun parts of the night, and that was the challenge. Oh my gosh.
That challenge was awesome.
That challenge, I mean, I'm telling you, they've got to put a book together of these challenges, because they would be so much fun at family reunions. And this was the same, and it was impersonate me. And they had to go in and get the card, and the card would have a celebrity's name and then an action of what they had to do. They were hysterical. Black Team didn't even know who Arnold Schwarzenegger was.
Or somebody didn't know who Mr. T was either. I think it was Black Team as well.
So funny, but they handled it well. What's the opposite of?
They did.
She did a really good job, and they were so cute every time they got it. They were like, ah! They were so cute. Green Team was about ready to just ah.
I liked their impersonation of Miley Cyrus.
So funny, and he says, blonde singer, short hair. She's like, what? That was so funny. I was laughing so hard, but I wrote some of these down. They did Bugs Bunny teaching Shakespeare. They did Elmo getting mugged. And then, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, well, I can't even say his name. Arnold Schwarzenegger having a tea party. That was really hard for them to get the tea party. Michael Jackson working out. I mean, it's just, think of the fun things that you could do with your own family with these.
Well, one was Mickey Mouse robbing a bank.
Yes. And just, whoever came up with these, kudos to them. Because,
hysterical.
But red team,
it was in the house.
they were so good because she said, we spend the whole day, making up voices and talking like different people and acting crazy in the car. So for us, this was no big deal. So that was hysterical. I loved that challenge. That was so, so funny. And like I've told y'all before, I live tweet and Joe likes to live tweet and he was cracking up watching the other teams because he hadn't seen that. So he was loving their impersonations of people and how they were doing it, how they were getting it. So it's always fun to see, their reactions. So to what's going on. So yeah, that was great. I loved that. That's just something I want to do with my family. So hopefully nobody will get hurt. Nobody will throw something in their, eye like it's happened. It's not dangerous. No darts being thrown, stuff like that. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about Joe and the alpacas. Oh my gosh. His cousins took him to an alpaca farm, and the first thing he said was, "I can't do this because there's hay and poo-poo everywhere." I thought, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. But Jerica decided that he looked just like the alpacas.
I loved it when he was talking to him. I can do your hair. We just need a little more product.
Exactly. And speaking of hair, he had to make sure his hair looked good, even though he wasn't feeling well. It's all about the hair.
He's like, just because it don't feel good doesn't mean we don't look good.
Yep. It's all about the hair for him. So funny. And they gave him that little pooper scooper.
That was funny. Somebody tell me if I get it in, I can't look.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Then they brought the little baby one, and that was so funny. I just love that they're spending more time this season with their relatives, and we're seeing that bonding. Red team got to go on that electric bicycle ride all through Cape Cod. Oh my goodness. Has anybody done that? Have anybody been to Cape Cod and ridden a bicycle around? Oh my gosh, that looked like so much fun. That really looked like so much fun. Of course, green team, they sat and talked and, just she learned stories about her dad and that was wonderful. That was I just love the fact that she's getting all those answers. I just love that. There's something else that Black team got to look at pictures again. They're getting lots of pictures every time. And then red team, Austin's cousin brought out that big long family, that pedigree chart. It was huge, that big family tree. So
I was wondering if Mary wrote down any of those names and dates.
I was going to ask her that. So she'll have to leave a comment or something and say yes. And I looked up this person and they're related to me. That's what she's going to say.
Exactly.
Dustin, Mary always just
everything you want to know more about, she's already looked and is ready to tell you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like last year's, I don't remember which team it was, but it was the guy whose dad had died and he was a biker.
It was the red team. It was red team.
So the next, when we met to tape, Mary goes, that's not right. There's something's off because that's not the people I found when I researched the family.
And it turned out to be true. We just had to wait a few more episodes.
So it's funny.
We can always count on her to say, wait, there's more.
But how often when you guys watch these stories or you watch these other TV shows now, like Cold Justice and them, how often do you go and look stuff up about the people featured in the show? It's just fascinating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's true. For me, it depends. Like for Relative Race, I watch for just the enjoyment of the race. So I usually don't touch anything. I let Mary do it. Yeah, we let Mary do it. Who do you think you are? It usually depends on who they're doing and what resources they've showed. So I've gone back, like they did when they did Sean Hayes. I got like 3-4 blog posts out of that because they didn't show any of the church records. Right. So I went and I looked at all of those and I blogged about all the step family and whatnot. And actually I've had like his cousins contact me and commenting on it. So yeah, I will. It just depends on if it's intrigued me enough and if they didn't show enough documentation for my liking. Knowing that it's probably all hit the floor when they.
Yes, they probably all had it, but it just didn't make the
But I
air.
was just very interested. Okay, let me see what else I can find.
Well, we watch it as genealogists too. We watch it for fun, but things trigger, questions. We have questions, and we want to know before we have to, wait to see if they're going to answer.
And for myself, like that Irish research is, what I really work in. So going back and digging in those records, it just helps me maintain my skills because I'm not doing as much research as I'd like. So.
Sure. Well, before we get to the results, does anybody have anything else they want to say about this episode? Just in case we missed anything pop into your heads, or should we just go to the results?
Get to those results.
We're getting to the results. Well, so we get to the Skype call. And they notice right away, the teams notice there's somebody missing. So Dan has to tell them that, Team Blue is gone. And but he lets them know that nobody's going to get that strike. But you know what? He doesn't do that until he puts them into order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't. Come to think of it, he doesn't tell them that right at the beginning, does he? Or does he?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So for them, they're thinking, oh no, we've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a strike. They don't realize it. They were a minute apart.
Yeah,
and the first team in a second.
6 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was very close.
25 to 26, and then black team was like 30-something minutes.
Yeah, so very, very close.
It was that extra selfie for Team Green.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they all have to sit back and go, what could we have done better? But for a minute, I can't even imagine for a minute. So
shouldn't have peed when we stopped for gas.
Exactly. I'm sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. Absolutely. So first place was Team Green, second place was Team Red, and third was Team Black. And then they were told, because Team Blue is no longer in the race, there won't be a strike tonight. And the relief on Team Black's face. So it really turned out, like you said earlier, it turned out the best for him. That's a good day for him to be sick if he was going to be sick. Yeah, there was no time consequences, for that. But what's interesting is they could have chosen the next day benefit, which would have been having their relative navigate them out and on their way the next morning, or the day 10 benefit. But it's Team Green. Team Green's going to take that benefit. Mm-hmm. So Terry, what the heck?
You know what? I would have picked day 10 too.
Yeah, but what is it? Day 10 is a poster.
Right. I was like, wait, what did they give them? It was a poster
of the Ben Franklin.
I'm wondering if they're going to Philly.
Well, yeah, a couple of people were mentioning that. Yeah. So we've got the flag.
Which was, what was on it?
I can't remember what was on it.
Yeah.
What was on it?
Like the big chicken thingy.
That was the mascot. So where does this fit in? So we're going to have to do Dustin Yinda football. Well, who's got a chicken mascot in Philadelphia?
I looked it up last time.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out, what have these things got to do with the final day? So, yeah, I mean, they got a poster. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so they chose the day 10 benefit. Yeah. And I think I always would too. But I guess, man, Team Black had the next day benefit, and that was the GPS. And I think that helped him. Of course, they still came in third. If Blue Team had been in, they may have come in last because of the sickness they were dealing with. So that GPS may have made all the difference in the end for them to be able to, put in the address. But 5 minutes of GPS doesn't last very long, does it?
No, it doesn't. And like they said, oh my gosh, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left.
I know, and he's trying to write it down and he's trying to memorize. Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like a big deal. And maybe your relative navigating you out to, get out of town onto the freeway sounds like a big deal. But when you weigh it, if you're the only team that's got the day 10 benefits, or you've got the majority of them, then you've got a head start, I would think.
Absolutely. As we learned last season.
As we learned last season, absolutely. Yeah, you get those day 10 benefits and you've got a head start. Absolutely. So day 4, can you believe next week is day 5 and we're halfway done?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I don't ever want to have to wait. Part of me would like to just watch it all back to back to back to back. But then we couldn't do this. And this is too much fun. So, and, talking to people in between is too much fun. So, yeah. But, we got 6 more days till they get to the end. So, and we've got no strikes again next week. So,
that's good.
All three teams will move on. So it's going to be interesting to see. I have a feeling that we're going to get, from the commercials, we're going to get another tearjerker for Team Green. Team Black is just going to be their awesome selves. And I don't know. I think it looked like another relative for Michael for next week, but who knows? Who knows the way they cut these commercials? Sometimes you just never know. You just never know, because we had a lot of people saying, "Oh no, something's going to happen to Team Black," based on last week's commercial, because they showed Joe getting so sick. So you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to happen. So anyway, with that, that's day 4 of Relative Race. And as Dan always says, tomorrow is another day. Thanks so much for joining us as we talk about Gen Friends. Thank you, Austin, for being with us. We sure appreciate having you with us. And Terry, thanks so much. Appreciate you. And we will see you next time on Gen Friends. Bye.
Bye.